This video will go over barbell good morning. First, set the bar on your upper back, so rack the bar on your back, and then unrack it. Next thing, set your feet to about hip width. You can go maybe a little bit wider than hip width, but I don't want you quite shoulder width for the good mornings. You'll see that sometimes powerlifters like to go shoulder width or even a little bit wider for their good mornings. For general development, I don't think it's a great idea to go quite to shoulder width. Just try to keep it about hip width for your feet distance here. Next, you move at your hips. This is called hip hinge. You'll push your butt backwards. So here I go. I'm pushing my butt back. So I'm in this position here that usually we don't want you to be in for a squat, right? So this is something you want to do with a lighter weight. My hips are being pushed back. Basically, pretend like you're trying to push your butt against the wall behind you. Okay? Also, keep your weight on your heels and look at my knees. I have a slight bend in my knee. So that's a good thing. That's soft knee. So this is the hip hinge. You do the hip hinge, push your hips back. How low do you let your torso get? Basically, low enough until you feel a stretch in your hamstrings. So I'm pretty tight. I am also pretty good at good mornings. So I'm getting pretty low in this demonstration. You don't have to quite get so low that your back is basically like a tabletop. So I want your back flat. But once you come down, your back should be more like a down-sloped ramp, less like a tabletop, but your back should still be flat. So once I end up in this position, I squeeze my butt and hamstrings and push my hips forward, just like that. So more simply stated, you start in a standing position, you push your hips back. Once you feel that stretch, squeeze your butt, push your hips forward. So I do want you squeezing your butt even at the top here. What I don't want you to do, don't push your hips super far forward. Only push your hips forward enough until your body is standing upright in a straight line. That's pretty much the good morning. Butt back, butt forward. Some things to watch out for. So this looks pretty similar to my other reps. The big difference here is that my knees are locked out. So that could put some funky stress on your kneecaps. We don't want to have locked out knees for the good morning. If anything, bend them a little bit more, but don't have a locked out leg. So I'm trying to round my back right now, and I'm going really low. That's something we don't want you to do with a good morning. So I'll rewind that. That was pretty much all lower back, not in a good loaded position either. So if you look where my hips are, my hips really aren't pushed back as far as they were before. Really, what I'm doing and what I'm doing wrong with this rep is I'm just bending over. So this puts a lot of stress in my lower back. Look at my back. Try to see that. It's almost like, imagine like your spine's a stick and you're trying to snap that stick. That's pretty much what this would do to you if you did it with a heavier weight. So obviously avoid that. Another thing to look out for, don't let that bar get too high. So yeah, you're doing a good morning, the bar might want to roll down. Don't let it roll to your neck. Try to keep it either on your upper back, so I'll rewind it. So this is still on my upper back, this is on my upper traps. This is one way you could do it. Or you could go to the low bar position where the bar sits in the other shelf between your shoulders and your traps. You got to be careful with this though. Make sure you keep that bar tight into your back. So that's what I'll do. And I kind of wiggle it so it sits in that shelf. You got to make sure those elbows are back to support it. This is another way you can do the good morning. And then from there, all the mechanics are the same. Pushing the butt back, pushing the butt forward. There you go. That's the barbell good morning.